Welcome back. Short 15-minute break as suggested, and we straight back to the live action with Mr. Mike Savage rejoining me in the studio for the second leg of his World Cup qualifying at home, this time to Uruguay. Good evening, Mike. How are you?
Good evening. Yes, all is well.
Duggan is in the chat. He says he's in his Mike Savage pajamas, ready to go, even though he never picks a Dragon's Resi.
Ooh, harsh.
Harsh,
true,
but true.
Harsh. Yeah.
We've got the. It should be a fairly relaxed evening for you tonight. There's no cup draw for you to oversee, and you've got 5 away goals. But I know at 1-0 down and 2-1 down the other night, you were just a little bit concerned.
Yeah, a little bit squeaky bum time, but yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
Good evening, Mr. Edwards, who says hello again, lads. Doesn't pick Burn players either. So there is some disgruntlement. Normally in other levels of football management, people don't really want their players being called up, but the Super League managers, they want their players in the Australia squad under your tutelage, Mike.
I mean, I said last game, if folk want particular players playing, if they make that known, I can see if I can work it in to what I'm trying to do.
From an international perspective, Duggan wants a redraft.
Yeah, that happens to me every single game almost, though, doesn't it? So
It does.
I don't have them problems.
No. Well, let's go through the rules first. So obviously this is the second leg. Away goals used if scores are level after 90 minutes. So for that to come into effect, it would Uruguay would have to win by 3 clear goals tonight. Extra time played if the scores are level. Penalty shootout if they remain level. 7 subs named, maximum 3 used. Just a quick refresher of where we are. As I said, you won 5-2 away in Uruguay. It was Fabian O'Neill of Juventus who caused all the issues for you in that first half. Enzo Maresca there, Conte as well, still part of that squad. So he'll be a player that no doubt you will have an eye on in this leg. I'll fire on that, Duggan, says Ian. Last time out, while we were looking at that, this was the tactic you played, and you've slightly adapted it, which we're about to see for this game. But the squad selection, very, very similar. Here is the altered tactic, a backward arrow, sorry. I've got Brozek and Rakoba the wrong way around, haven't I? There we go. So Mido, Brozek. Brozek and Mido caught the headlines the other night for their play out wide. You've gone actually more attacking for the home leg which is interesting to see. But before we talk through the team, obviously the squad was selected during game week 9. We're now just completed game week 11, which means if I go through this fairly quickly, Chadwick, Muniz, Donovan, Romario, Nikolai, possibly Brozek. No, Brozek didn't. But definitely those 5 have all essentially been removed from future squads for the time being, as they've been called up. Now, for your preparations for the World Cup, obviously that's not ideal, but we were just saying off camera, that means you're doing your job effectively if people are calling these players up.
Yeah, exactly. If people are seeing them do something, then they think they can do something for them in the league. Perfect. It's exactly what we want. So good to still have Mido and Brozek.
And crucially, Olusadebe as well, who scored last time out. He remains available at your disposal. Ian deciding not to call him up.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of anti-Debbie talk, isn't there, really? But I like him.
So as we said, the squad selection very similar, just a slight tactical tweak. Was that because you felt you still needed to go as close to full strength as possible, or that there was no one you really wanted to see anything different from?
The midfield was just a bit underwhelming, and there were obvious gaps, but it was just a bit underwhelming, so we just changed it around a bit. I don't go for the resting players and all that jazz. It's just playing what team you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Your strongest team in it. So, yeah, just take them as they are unless they're injured.
I certainly look forward to seeing what your next squad reveal looks like once you get a copy of this updated save after this fixture. But let's go to Match Centre. So you are at home this time, playing in the Stadium Australia in Sydney. Is this your, I think this is the first time in front of your home fans? Fiji friendly was away, yeah. First time in front of your home fans.
Yeah, all 6 of them. They're there cheering away.
We've got a request. I want a Savage quote. Runs more important than arrows on a T-shirt. Wish I had the balls to back it in the Super League. Martin predicted Romario hat-trick incoming. It will be interesting. Obviously, your choice of certain players, well within your rights as you'd selected them in the squad prior to the call-ups, but be interesting to see the reaction if 1 or 2 of the now first team players were to pick up an injury when you were already 3 goals clear, just how friendly some of the Super League managers would be then. But let's kick off the first half, and I will see you again at half-time, Mike.
Let's go.
Nothing happens in the opening 15 minutes or so. Australia start to come forward. We're already at half an hour. Definitely the better side, Australia, but not managed to score yet. Romario with the latest opportunity. 2 minutes to be added on. And a very, very quick first half. No goals, but you were the only side to create anything.
Same as last game, though, weren't it? Not much at first half. But at least they're not shooting this time.
Greavesy was obviously on co-coms earlier tonight, and he was talking about the importance of a good pass percentage, which you got there at 72. And he likes to have his tackle percentages in and around 70, so 64. You relatively content?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with any of that.
Okay, let's have a look at the individual player stats then, and you can decide if you'd like to make any of your free allotted changes. The strikers aren't seeing a lot of the ball there, although they are the ones having the shots. So it must be a shoot-on-sight policy that you've adopted for this game.
You'd think so, but it was exactly the opposite.
Are they not listening to the instructions, Mike?
They are not listening to the instructions one bit. Rakoba is. That makes me happy.
Any half-time alterations for you, sir?
I'll leave it till 60.
Leaving it till 60. Let's resume the action then and see if Australia. There it is, and it is Romario who gets the goal on 47 minutes, and Olasadebe makes it 2-0 on the hour, Mike. That's much more like it.
Yeah, he was just left on the pitch, very, very close to coming off.
I did that quite quickly. Do you want me to just go back to the match ratings quick?
I don't really see any need to change any of them, to be honest.
No?
I know it's a bit boring, though, isn't it?
Should we open it up? Should we say that for the few people who've managed to stay late and watch it, who from that subs bench would they like to see? See if they can prompt a decision.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah.
So if Ian, Duggan, Martin, if you're still about, there's a couple of other people I could see are watching live as well. Any of those substitutes you'd like to see have a run out? Luke Chadwick's obviously just been called up by Badgers. Schwartz, though, hasn't. Pedro has. Landon has. Marcus has. Francesco hasn't. So maybe they get a run out just to get some TV time, as it were. Martin wants to see Landon. Tato's actually asking to see Luke Chadwick.
The Chadders. Right, let's sort Chadwick out first, and just go back to match ratings for
me. Ian's asking if you can stick a Burn player on and then put, oh, wait a minute.
I'll take Brozek off for Chadwick.
Brozek off for Chadwick. Martin says, wouldn't mind seeing Muniz in action, but got to stick with my boy Landon. I mean, technically, if you really wanted to appease the masses, you could bring Mido off, or even you could put Mido up front to keep Mido on, put Pedro out on the left wing, and Landon between the two strikers.
Yeah, Landon would not do the job at AMC that I've got allocated. I'll take off Romario.
Okay.
Just for not wanting to injure him more than anything else, to be honest. Best player on the team, take him off. I don't need him getting injured. For Donovan.
Okay.
And I think that's it, to be honest.
Tato very happy with that first sub. That's it. So got the two changes. That way, if you do pick up an injury in this last half an hour, you can still change it again. So yeah, Donovan and Chadwick on.
If my keeper gets sent off, for instance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Donovan and Chadwick coming on the hour mark. And a couple of good opportunities to make it free. Still Australia come forward and looking to keep the clean sheet as well, which is important after conceding 2 in the first leg. But can they get this third goal that the players probably deserve? There it is, from 20 yards out, Rakoba on 88 minutes, and a good night's work from your boys there, Mike.
Yeah, I suppose what happened is what I thought was going to happen. It was less attacking because of the change I made in midfield, but they've had one shot on target, no corners. You know, it's they were pretty.
You've seen what you wanted to from a defensive perspective.
Yeah, which is going to be more important against some of the bigger teams.
But that does mean, of course, congratulations, you have qualified for the World Cup.
Yes. Go on, lads.
Yes. Let's have a quick look. Rakoba picking up Man of the Match award. Vicente also rating a 9. Olasadebe, who was on a 6 even after scoring, got his rating up to a 9. Romario, who obviously will not be part of the squad for the foreseeable, finishes his tenure with you on a 9 as well. Are you looking forward to scouting some new names for the... I imagine you'll get a few warm-up friendlies before the World Cup?
Yeah. As soon as you let me know who's moved, I'll crack on with that. I'm very happy to see Rakoba has done what he's done. That gives me a lot of confidence.
Tato again, very excited for the World Cup. In fact, he's put, "I'm lashing my best players into the resis for the World Cup." Could the Badgers team essentially be going to the World Cup? Certainly
Hey, they're in the
interested to see
resis.
how that.
I'll choose from them.
Certainly interested to see how that plays out. A lot of people, obviously, one of the main things they were looking at here is that first team players weren't getting selected for the international team and avoiding any needless injuries and stuff. But all of a sudden, I think the crowd are buying into your project here, Mike. And I think come the end of the season, particularly those who don't make the playoffs, you may just start to see one or two bigger names appearing, and Australia's starting to look very strong for the World Cup.
Maybe, but if the team's settled, will they even get in?
Oh, who knows?
Who knows? Quite happy to bench or lesser Sigalko. We'll see.
Listen, congratulations again on qualification to the World Cup. Next up for you, there's no immediate fixtures planned, but as I say, I'm sure the Australian Football Association will announce pre-World Cup friendlies in due course. And then I imagine there's an Oceania Cup to prepare for as well. And of course, the World Cup draw usually done January, February time in the game, I think. So you'll be getting news very, very soon. And of course, you'll have one eye on the upcoming CMSL Cup, where a few reserve sides will also be playing almost certainly. Martin there, let's go the Roos. Well done, Mike. And Tato saying well played. Thank you again for your time this evening, Mike. Look forward to seeing you again in the not too distant. In fact, has the news broken, or should we break it now? I do believe if it hasn't broken, I'm going to break it now for the masses. Mr. Savage has already been approached by one Super League manager to oversee his side for the CMSL Cup. So we will see Mike sooner rather than later. I don't know which club, but I know Mike did just check it was okay. And I said, yes, the managers were told if they don't want to partake, then obviously they can go forth and find themselves assistants. So Mike will be overseeing a Super League club in the forthcoming CMSL Cup. Mike, thanks again. Have a very good evening, and we will see you soon.
Yeah, you too. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.